that talent. I've seen that again. And I look at T.O.'s bust. He looked like when they was sculpting his bust, they must have hung some titties over his head because he's looking up like he sees this like the greatest thing in the world. He's like,
if you get a chance, look at Calvin Johnson's. He is so angry to be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
So mad.
it
So
did
mad.
look good. Yeah, and some of them look uncharacteristic. Like Troy's bust don't even look. I don't recall Troy smiling all like that. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, he was, of course, a crazy madman on the field. But when he did interviews and all that, I mean, not saying that Troy was mean, but you know, he's real soft spoken. But I never really seen him smile. I never seen him laugh. I never seen him. He was always real serious.
You're going to the Hall of Fame.
What do you mean?
Oh, wow. Look at that smile. Tell someone to go to the Hall of Fame. See if they're not going to smile. Except Calvin Johnson. I don't know. Like, I don't know when and how they capture their.
Yeah, like, what do they say?
Essence.
Hey, we want to get a good,
right.
You know, hey, give us a smile, or what do they say? Is it like take a picture? Or, I don't know.
I'll look into that, man. That's actually a good, interesting little, like, what. I mean,
some of them are dead on. I mean, some of them are spot dead on, and then some of them is like
Bill Cowher. He got the grizzled like.
Yeah, I mean, some of them look like it could be their cousin or something like. That. I don't quite look like them.
Yeah.
Some of them are dead spot on.
I kind of wish they would they did like a 15-year ago Ed Reed, because now he, like I said, he just looks like that old black grandpa on the porch. It's like, don't do that.
Watch out there now.
Mm-hmm. Don't go down there now. Yeah. So, boys and girls, welcome to Football. This is Rich.
This is Jermaine.
And yeah, we are wrapping up the season here.
We are post-divisional round, heading into the championship round.
Yep. And a few things happened that were interesting. If you see the name of the show, it's actually more like Dan Can't Ball. That makes me sad.
Can't Ball instead of Can't Ball.
Yeah.
Well, he got upseated by another Dan. It was Dan Quinn upseating Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know what? You got to stop them. You got to stop the offense. It's just, that's a part of. I mean, their defense wins championships is not just a funny little tagline. It is a thing.
It's not a cliche.
Yeah, Detroit's defense in a whole was not great. They had a good run defense, but that was about it.
Yes. I mean, the Commanders pretty much scored almost every time they had it. I mean, it was like, and
you when can't they got turn the ball over, man.
And when they got down close in the red zone, or they got to any fourth down, they went for each and every fourth down out there.
Why
they didn't
not?
They didn't leave none. I mean, they was going for it like Madden. Like, I'm going for it. Like, there's not even
you were a severe underdog. You were playing with house money.
Yeah.
You were not supposed to be in this equation, but you are. It is not.
If that defense could have got 2 or 3 more stops, we might have a different outcome. But nope, they couldn't stop them. I don't even recall Washington punting in that game. They went for it each and every time, and they scored almost every time.
Let's see. I'm curious. Go here. Because I am not sure of that, sir.
I think they might have punted one time in that whole game.
Let's see. Let's look at the box score here.
Box score shows you how many punts.
I mean, they're going to show everyone's stuff, so. He had, one punt. Which is funny because Detroit only had one punt as well.
But the biggest difference is the turnovers from Goff. I mean, he threw one pick six, so you spotted them 7 there, and he fumbled when he dropped back into the pocket, and they were coming at him. So all Detroit had to do was make 2 mistakes, and that's the difference in the game. Pretty much, Detroit won by 2 touchdowns. Right?
Yeah,
pretty much. This was a game where it was like you knew it was a game where whoever had the ball last was going to win.
Well, you would think, yeah.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
And you can't have no mistakes. Washington didn't turn it over at all. And there you go. I'm just severely saddened by the Detroit thing. I mean, to be bodying teams,
me both are.
To be bodying teams and to have that great regular season and just look unstoppable, and then you only get 1 playoff game and you lose that.
Yeah,
it's like okay. That's like okay. If there's a movie that you want to watch, and someone tells you, "Hey, you can watch this movie, but the last 10 minutes of the movie, we're gonna yank you out, and you can't see the end." Like, what's the purpose of watching the movie if you can't see the last part of the movie that's important? I'd rather not even start the movie. So they did all this stuff through the regular season, which is the rest of the movie. And then when it comes to the end, the most critical part of the movie, they had to go home and leave the theater. That's crazy.
Yo, am I the Detroit Lions?
Fantasy? You might be.
Seriously, I mean, think about it. I just thought about that. I'm like, we got Washington came in and
you had the great squad. You were tearing teams apart. You barely lost. A couple losses towards the end to even let Bob in. And so you got a bye and you lost right after the bye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Detroit. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And Bob's Washington.
Yep.
Again. Wow, that's crazy. Because I know we had discussions weeks ago about.
But you didn't lose to Bob. You lost to.
I lost to Chuck.
To show me them TDs, right?
Yeah, that was Chuck.
Yeah. Wow.
But.
So, you know how I feel firsthand. It's like, okay, man, I had the squad of a lifetime. I was crushing teams.
Yeah.
And then, when it mattered the most, you had to get up and walk out the theater and not see the end of it. It's like, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And it's like, that took the air right out of my sails. So it's like, now the remaining teams that's left, it's like, okay. And I know it ain't going to happen. It's okay, now who's left? I didn't really have nobody to root for, but I'm like, okay, Washington, if you done that, then do it all.
Look, that's kind of where I was at with it. That's where I was at with it. I'm like, I mean, if you're going to rip my heart out, which you did, you might as well, fuck me at the end of the night, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
don't leave me all, you rip my heart out, and then, I'm sitting here. You might as well finish me off. Yeah. Might as well finish the job. Yeah, finish the job. Beat Philly and at least get to the Super Bowl. Otherwise, most likely it's going to be Philly and Chiefs again. But I mean, I don't know. It seemed like everything I rooted for,
Yeah.
fantasy wise, as well as real life wise, is failed to shit. It's like Detroit is gone. I guarantee you, Washington ain't gonna pull it off, and the Bills is probably gonna lose again. So I'm like,
Yeah. Well, we'll get into our picks a little bit later on down
yeah,
there, but you already
yeah.
kind of blew your load there, so that's interesting.
Well, I mean, that's my that's what I want to happen in my
Yeah.
heart. But when it comes to picks, I'm not picking with my heart. I'm picking with my
Oh.
brain there now. Come on now.
All right. Interesting. All right.
I didn't blow my load. I blew my heart.
Well, well,
Yeah.
there you go. But yeah, then he had his press conference and he was like emotional and he was choking up and he was blaming himself and God, I just want to cradle Dan Campbell's balls in my hand. Like that's where I'm at in life. I fucking love this guy. It is
I know. I
ridiculous.
had texted you and said, I'm watching this press conference, and he was like, "That's how press conference should be. Not all this Tomlin fucking. What did you call
Tomlinisms
it?
and riddles.
Yeah, Tomlinisms and what is it? Verbal gymnastics type shit. All of them
Yeah.
create words and Tomlin and all. Yeah,
Right.
instead of all those little quips and sayings and all
Like,
that.
we
Yeah,
don't need that. Like that was cool and quaint and fun in the first few years. It's like, oh, okay, so you're a talker. Cowher really wasn't. He was more like, rah, rah, rabble, rabble.
Yeah,
And
Kyler, when they got him in them conferences, Kyler like would give that look like, if you don't shut the hell up, I'm gonna come over there and punch you in your mouth.
yeah,
So they would ask Kyler questions and then he would just give them that look and then they would just be like, all right, I'm sorry. And they wouldn't ask it. But Tomlin,
right,
he would answer all the questions and got a little jokes and little quips behind it.
right.
And like you said, it was fun and it was like, oh, he's well spoken and
When
he
they were
can't be
winning, like
rattled.
it's fun when you're winning.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like if you're winning, you're expected to win, and you have a good, solid team, and you fucking take an L, and it's like, you fucking, hey, look, sometimes a roller coaster doesn't go over the hill. It's like the
Yeah.
fuck. It's like okay.
Yeah.
Just leave
Oh,
the
like,
press conference. You're like,
he's like,
fucking hey, yeah, I guess, yeah.
what is he?
Sometimes it can get stuck.
He's like, sometimes the offensive line or something is like a hot dog or something. You don't want to see them being made or something. Hey man, I be
Right.
saying all that, and like you said, it's all fun and games when you winning. It's like okay, whatever rallies the team, but when you're losing, it's like, man, I don't want to hear that goofy shit no more, man. Like, win, do something, change the outcome. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
your press conference. I'd rather you win and don't say a word than to give me this well thought out, well spoken press conference with a loss. Tired.
And I think the majority of people are just tired of it too. It's like, all right, man, the bloom's off the rose. This isn't cute. It's annoying. Like
Yes, it is.
what we would like you to see, what I'd like you to kind of do in your press conference and be like, hey, the team is fucking below average. We're not playing well. We're not doing anything well. That's where we're at. We're playing poorly. We got what we deserved. Because a brutal level of honesty will it'll piss some people off in the locker room, but you know what? Oh well. Sometimes you gotta ruffle feathers. But from
this season reminded me of the season when Ben Roethlisberger, when we were like 11-0, and we blew our load too quick.
Yep.
And pretty much you get in the playoffs and you pretty much back into the playoffs getting beat the hell down, and then when you get to the playoffs, you get embarrassed. And we lost, I think, Cleveland that year. Same thing this year. They peaked too early, blew their load too fast, lost the last 4 games to back into the playoffs, and then lost the 5th one. It was disgusting.
And lost easily. Like it wasn't even like, oh man, we just
like the last minute. No, it was we got that score didn't indicate how much they got dominated. Baltimore ran up and down that field, did anything they wanted to, when they wanted to. It was a complete dominant performance. Yeah. And for you to have all that time to prepare for a divisional opponent that you somehow in the past shown that you can rattle, Lamar Jackson, we didn't see that. Definitely didn't
No, but
see
you know what?
that.
Baltimore was the better team anyway. Like they were the better team. We knew that
Most
from
of
the
the
get
time
go.
they are. Most of the
We
time they are.
I expected them to go in and lose. I didn't expect them to go in and look like a Canadian football team. Like that's
Yes,
kind of what I'm
it was
like, what the fuck is
embarrassing.
this?
I mean, the announcers that were announcing it were like, somebody need to tell the Steelers it was Joe Buck and Aikman, and they were like, somebody need to tell them to pick up the energy or something. They just seem like they don't even care, and it's like they got on that TV and they embarrassed this city. They really did.
And I'm glad Aikman and Buck were like, yeah, fucking embarrassing. What are you doing, man?
It was like, this is
like,
not the Pittsburgh Steelers of old that I'm used to or accustomed to,
no, this is
and it
and
wasn't.
that's the thing, and that's the problem. I think management is stuck on that mentality. It's like, well, we still got that in us, brother. We still got that fire in that whole 70. No, motherfucker, everyone from those teams are dead. Like,
Yeah.
stop it. Can we just please stop?
That Stiller way is no longer there. I mean,
No, it hasn't been there for 10 fucking
Cowher
years.
left with it. Tomlin probably had it for like the first 3 or 4 years, and then after that, it developed into whatever culture he's setting, where it's okay to be mediocre, and it's disgusting.
Oh,
I'm tired of it. Tired of it.
well, I forgot I have a trivia question for you. So,
Oh yeah.
being that we're talking about Steelers, then we'll get into the, what else happened here? Hold on, let me go.
Well, I mean, just
Do
cover
we?
the other matchups.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously we're pissed about Washington. We're pissed. We're pissed about Detroit, but we're surprised about Washington. I mean, Jaden Daniels, wow, rookie quarterback. I definitely didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody really saw that coming. But he is electric and fun. So,
yeah,
like you said,
playing like a 10-year vet.
if you're gonna take out who the champs should be,
Yes,
then you're now my dark horse. So
yes.
Chiefs beat the Texans. Nobody cares. I mean, fucking duh.
Nobody.
Now,
I mean, of course
it
they
was
got
not.
help from the refs, but
It was not as impressive as I think as everyone thought it was going to be. But
oh no, the Chiefs played just like the Chiefs played all year. They barely they skin of their teeth. They somehow they remind me so much of the Patriots and their dominance. It's like,
yeah,
they're not blowing anybody out. They just do just enough to win. I mean, they very rarely beat themselves. Well coached, and when it come down to when the rubber meets the road, they're pulling the right levers and the right decisions, and they come out with dub. It's just nothing
I think if it
impressive
wasn't for
about it.
Andy Reid, I would despise the Chiefs. But I just love
Yes,
Andy Reid so goddamn much.
yes, me
He
too.
is just,
Me too.
I don't know. He is just that guy. And look, refs, not refs, whatever. Fine, I get it. Now, are the calls magnified probably because of the Chiefs? I would venture to guess yes. But look, Mahomes is kind of the face of the league. Like it is what it is, and you're gonna protect you're gonna protect your top bitch. Like that's what happens. So, like you're not protecting your bottom bitch. I'm sorry. Like you're not getting roughing the passers against Matt Stafford. Sorry, not happening. Or Lawrence. Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
But
So you gotta
is it
protect
egregious a little bit with him? Yeah, it is. But
he said you gotta protect your top bitch. Yes, you
the
do.
same thing happened with Brady. Same thing happened with Peyton. Same thing happened with X, Y, and Z down the line.
Yep. If you're gonna tackle them, you better be damn careful how you tackle them.
And the same thing probably would happen with Ben, but he was so goddamn large, no one could fucking tackle him. So, and I think the problem is now that there are literally 947 cameras per square inch. So everything you see is like, how did they miss that? It's like, because they're calling it on the fly. They're not going to do replay assist for every goddamn hit. There is going to be that human element in it. And because seemingly, for whatever reason, whether teams are going after Mahomes harder or what, I don't know. But he gets more calls. It is what it is. But knowing that as an opposing team, and I understand the heated battle, yada yada, you always can't stop, whatever. You know the situation. You know it. So do your best to adapt accordingly. I don't know what that looks like, what that means, what that has to be, but if it is
It's
a
called being
common,
disciplined. It's a discipline,
yeah,
right? Like you have to rush him. Discipline. You
yeah,
can't be reckless with your hands all out and smacking across the helmet. And yeah,
right.
they're going to call it. They are going to call it. So you
And
have
if
to
they
be
call it more
strategic.
there, know it. Like, know
Yeah.
it, and like that's a coaching thing. I feel like in my head, it's like, oh, it's always the refs. It's like if it's always the refs, if you guys are always saying it's always the refs, always calls, like then keep your arms inside the cart as it's going, like that. Like follow the directions of a roller coaster. Like I don't know what to tell you, but if you
Yeah.
see what's being called and you know what happens, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
I don't
If
know.
I know I'm going into a situation, an argument, or if I'm going to court, I suppose, for somebody that's going getting preferential treatment,
Right.
I gotta be extra prepared. I have to be
Yes.
10 times more prepared than that person because I know that they have an upper hand, and I'm
Yes.
presenting a case against somebody that's has favorability. So you have to approach it that way. You're not
Here's
gonna
a good
get an even
example.
shake.
You go into child support court. Off top, the woman's already got the 50% advantage. If you go
Great
in there with
example.
like, if you go
Excellent
in there
example.
and you're like, why don't you feel like you need to pay this? Oh, because bitches ain't shit. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, that's great.
yeah.
Goodbye. But if you go in there and you're like, here's exactly why I feel like I should have custody, and
Blah
this
blah
shouldn't be
blah.
the
And
financial
she's
thing.
an unfit
X,
person.
right.
She does
For
this,
these
this, this.
examples, right,
I better have my ducks in a row. I better have.
right.
That is an excellent example. Yes, because in a Commonwealth state,
Mm-hmm.
PA, Virginia,
Yep.
whatever, the woman has the upper hand.
Yes.
It's you're walking into it 60-40, maybe even 70-30 from the
Yeah, I was
gate.
going to say 75-25, big man. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking
yeah,
about. Like 60,
yeah.
40. What?
I mean, you're walking in
Yeah.
under
You're walking uphill on an
extreme
icy
odds.
hill
Yeah.
already.
Yes. Yep.
Like you need to go in there with the ability to flip that. Like you
Yep.
don't even need to have a good argument. You need to have a great argument to at
An
least make it an
impeccable
even.
argument.
Like you need
Yes.
to have a great one just to make it even at that point.
Yep.
So like that. So I just feel like I think a lot of people are just whining and complaining because it is a dynasty thing, and same with the Patriots. They had a dynasty. It is
Yep.
what it is, and everyone's like, in every now, mind you, they did cheat sometimes. It is what it is, but also I don't really think it's called. Well, maybe the Deflategate thing, but generally speaking, you're going to get the upper hand however you can, and I don't hate it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That's kind of how I feel about it, right? But every team does some things, but you know what? Once again, you are in the national spotlight. You are going to be exposed.
Yes.
Every team is doing the same kind of shit. They're just no one's giving a shit about the Jaguars. Sorry. No one cares. Like they could come out there throwing a Nerf ball. They'd be like, fucking cares. I don't give a shit. I don't like you literally have gorilla glue on your gloves. I don't care. You guys are awful. You're doing nothing. Please retire. But when you're on that huge, huge stage and you have a dynasty, everything is going to get picked apart and micromanaged and magnified and all those M words. So yeah, fine.
I mean,
But
great analogy, great example. But I mean, another example would be, like boxing. When
okay,
when you have the champ, when you're fighting the champ, you're not going to win on the scorecards
right.
against whoever the champ is. You have to knock the
Yeah.
man out. That is the
Highly
only way
doubtful
you're going to
going the
win.
decision. Right.
Yeah, you're not going to win a decision against the champ because they already are the champ.
Good.
They're already the
Good
favorite.
point.
You have to put your ducks in order. You have to fight that much harder to
Yeah.
knock that person out. And it's the same thing.
Like
The
the
Chiefs are the
Commanders did.
champs.
like the Commanders is. You said the Commanders were going on every fourth down. It was like 4th and 29. They're like, fuck it, let's go. Like, but because they know they came in as like a 9.5 point underdog, and they're like, look, we shouldn't even be here for real.
They
Like,
didn't leave anything to chance.
Right.
They said we're not gonna regret anything. I mean,
Right.
wouldn't you feel better about yourself knowing you gave it your all? You slung it at everything. You threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at it, and you still lost. Then you can accept that. But if you didn't, then you have some regret that you didn't give it your full performance. So yeah, Washington came in and said, "Man, we are going foot down on the gas from."
And what's
kickoff.
interesting to me about the whole thing is they did that against a team that they were not supposed to beat. Now they're going into Philly, and it's like, that's a different story, man. Like, this does not feel like a definitive flag in the sand kind of win for the Eagles here. So
no, not at all. And they
so
just beat them,
funny.
and they're in their division. And if Jaden Daniels is going to put pressure on every team that he plays to keep scoring, you got to keep up with him.
Yeah,
you're bound to make
that's
a mistake, just like golf.
The Eagles aren't built for that.
No, they aren't. No, they are not. They are not
they have
that team that can.
Better defense than the Lions, though. So
they do. They do.
So then that's when you pivot, and you're like, I need to play with some more strategy. I can't just say throw the balls to the wall and just go ham. It's like, nope, we have to play this team as we played them this year. We've done it twice. Let's.
I definitely believe Philly is going to use Saquon Barkley in that running game to keep Jaden Daniels on that sideline. They are not
a smart strategy.
They are not that team that can run up and down. They can't score in 2 minutes. They don't have that type of offense. No, they don't. They don't.
Well, unless Saquon does Saquon things like he did.
He breaks a 78-yard run. I mean, but typically Philly needs to grind. I mean, they slowly get down that field. They don't really take the heavy shots. I mean, occasionally you've seen them go to, of course, Devontae Smith. You had him on your team. They would take a shot here and there, but most of the time, Philly is that grinded down the field.
Possession team, yeah.
Yeah.
They're that possession team with that level of we can explode at any time if we want to, which is terrifying. Speaking of that, they barely edged out the Rams, 28-22. To the thanks of the MVP of the league. So
Saquon-a-sance.
Yeah.
Saquon-a-sance instead of the Renaissance, but yeah.
Silly.
Phillies, I mean, they're a well put together team. Like you said, they got a defense and a running game. And most of the time, a defense in the running game travels anywhere and it keeps you in any game. If you got a good solid running game and a good defense, you got a good chance at winning most of your matchups. Unless you just
you kind of like nullify any advantages at that point. You're like, well, I mean, we could just keep the ball away from you, and then also we can take the ball away from you. So it's like, do a thing.
And then the last matchup was yours truly, Mr. Allen versus Lamar, and I hate to sit there and try to blame it on Mark Andrews, but I'm kind of blaming some of it on Mark Andrews. I mean, like,
I get it, man. I get it. But you know what? They wouldn't be anywhere near as well put together or as good of a team to get them there without Andrews. So I think like the crazy death threats he's getting, all the crazy. First of all, it's a fucking
he's getting
game.
Death threats and stuff.
Yeah, dude. People are nuts. People are fucking nuts.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
It's like, first of all, it's a game. Settle the fuck down. Two, understand without Andrews this year, you would not be probably in this position to be in the playoffs. Sorry to say. And honestly,
he just had the two key plays. It was his, what was it? He caught it and then he fumbled. That was one, and then they got it back. And then that last 2-point conversion, he just didn't catch it. But
well, I'm saying
I agree with you.
Throughout the year,
I know what you're saying. I mean, they wouldn't be even in that position without the surfaces and the help of Mark Andrews. So it's. I don't know, man.
They had no one really to throw to. Everyone was hurt. So it's
Zay
like,
Flowers is hurt, and Baltimore's been trotting out those replacement receivers for
I guess
years.
Bateman was out on that last series too.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
But Baltimore's always had that second, third receiver. I don't really call Baltimore ever having a dominant wide receiver.
No, I mean, I would say Steve Smith.
Steve Smith Sr. Yeah.
That was as close, and that was at the end, but still,
and that
the
was the
end
tail end of
Smith,
his career. Yeah,
still,
his
end of
best
Steve
years
Smith
was
is
in.
better than anybody they have on their team.
Yeah, Steve Smith's best years was in Carolina. So
yeah.
So Baltimore's never had that bona fide dog receiver. No, they did. They had Anquan Bolden, and they won the championship with him.
Yeah, but that was still kind of at the end of his. That was at the end of his run, wasn't it? His best years.
I want to say in the middle
Arizona.
in Arizona. I would say it was in the middle. I think they got like they got some good years at them because I just remember they were like the only team I seen that would go into New England and trash the Patriots. It's like, this team could beat the Patriots. Like nobody could beat the Patriots in the playoffs. New England did it several times.
I'm just curious. I want to check something here. I want to see.
That's the only team that I've seen beat New England on a constant, like it was nothing. Like even when Peyton Manning and them beat them, it was like a miracle. But not Baltimore. Baltimore used to put New England in their place like a child. Like, now sit down and wait till your mom get back.
So,
they always.
All right. So he was in. Why are you doing it like that? Golly. Okay. That's not what I want. Let me back up. I had it in the right place.
At least 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it looked like here. All right, there we go. Go back to this. Because I pressed the button too quick and it was like, let's show you everything. I'm like, I don't need everything. So he had one. He was in there for 3 years. That's it. 3 years.
3. They won a Super Bowl.
Like, yeah, I mean, 837, 897, 921, 7, 3, and 4 for the Tutties. I mean, not.
It's not dominant.
Yeah, not jump. I mean, and then you look at what he did, kind of with Arizona. I mean, this rookie year, 13,
how many years he played in Arizona?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, well it was the tail end of his career. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after Baltimore, he went to let's see, the Niners for 3, then ended in Detroit. Actually, funny enough, his years in San Fran, 1179, 1062, and 7-5. So pretty much better than anything he did in Baltimore. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I
know
was
he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean,
I know he won a Super Bowl in Baltimore
because that kind
I
of trumps
think that was like Ray Lewis's first. Okay, Baltimore won these Super Bowls. One was against San Fran, and then the other was, I'm trying to think. NFC. Who's the top NFC teams back then? They won against San Fran. So that was definitely when Kaepernick was playing.
I try to block that shit out of my head.
Yeah, but I know he won a Super Bowl in one of them. And one of those years, definitely remember the Ravens going to the Super Bowl because they beat New England. And I remember Anquan Bolden scoring a touchdown, and the one guy was draped all over his leg, and he was pointing at him like, "Look at this clown draped on my leg as I score a touchdown on him." But yeah, Baltimore's never had like a monster bona fide number 1 receiver. They've always
had running backs, though. Always have running backs.
Oh, yes. And the defense. Most of the time, they always had a running game and a defense. That's why they're always in it. You can't just count them out. You got that running game and that defense that travels everywhere, puts you in every game. And you got Ray Murder back there calling the signals with Ed Reed behind him.
Shit.
Pretty rough.
Good fucking luck.
Too Hall of Famers sitting right there, waiting on you to make a mistake or crack your shoulder.
I was gonna say you don't even need to make a mistake. Like you could have a perfect play, and they're like, I don't care. Hold my beer.
Yeah, crack your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But yeah, so that was where the games. I mean, yeah, we're left with Buffalo, Kansas City, and
Washington, Philly.
Washington and Philly. So that's it. That's it for, I guess, news. Of course, the news is, hirings and coachings and all
It's
that. As
coaches
far
and
as
that.
like,
Yeah,
I haven't
cover
heard
that.
no injuries or anything like that. So
No. Yeah, this
let's
isn't
get to
really
trivia.
like. Yeah. So commercial break. I'm gonna go grab it here. So
Okay.
everyone refill their drink and pet their puppies, and we'll be right back.
Oh.
All right. So it's trivia time. Tiff found this, and it is a 6-answer question. All right. I got 4, and I could not think of the other 2. I said on yesterday's pod that I think that you're going to get 5.
Give me too much credit.
Well, we'll see. So, this is a Steelers question.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. So, in this century, excluding Antonio Brown, who has scored the most touchdowns? At least 31.
Okay. Any position?
Any position, yes.
In this century, who scored the most touchdowns in Steelers history?
I mean, in this generation, so the last 25 years.
Okay, so we're not talking the 70s.
No.
Okay, that makes it better. All right. Definitely Jerome Bettis is one.
That is one.
Okay. Hines Ward.
That is 2.
Okay. Mike Wallace.
Interesting. That is 3. That is one I did not get.
Oh, okay, Mike Wallace. You did the one that you didn't get. You was like, I forgot he even existed.
Right.
All right, Mike Wallace. Okay. Touchdowns. Of course, Ben.
No.
We don't count Ben, or you're not counting the quarterback.
No, because the throwing quarterback, the throwing touchdowns don't count.
Oh, okay.
If we're referring to him like rushing, then no, definitely
no, Ben didn't rush a man.
Ben Hurts.
All right, so.
This is interesting.
Man, what was the Santonio Holmes?
Nope.
Oh no. Oh.
It's funny enough, that is a name that I did not bring up.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Heath Miller?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay. Besides Bettis, no Zaraway and Motherfucker didn't have tons of touchdowns.
Is there a name drop? Pick him up. Let's go.
You forgot all about Amy Zaraway, did you?
Oh, I absolutely did not.
Oh, okay.
Chris Besides
Antonio Brown. Okay. Okay. This would be another running back. Oh. Willie Parker?
No. Good guess, though.
No. Okay.
I actually forgot about him being a person as well. Amos Zaroué walked so Willie Parker could run. Just saying. Same goddamn person.
Parker, another running back. No, it ain't sorry ass bitch ass Mendenhall. Another wide receiver. Wallace is on there. Heath is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Le'Veon. Definitely Le'Veon.
There you go. That's 5. I'm like, okay.
Le'Veon had tons of touchdowns. I knew it was another running back. Okay. So we got 2 running backs, Bettis and Le'Veon. Already excluded Antonio Brown. 1 receiver was Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Heath Miller, Hines Ward. Might be another running back. D'Angelo Williams?
No.
Okay.
No.
We had Le'Veon. It was Bettis before that. We're not talking about a defensive player, are we?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's say Troy scored a lot.
I knew you were going to bring up Troy. I'm like,
he just had touchdowns when it counted the most, put it that way.
That's fair.
So, Lewis Lips?
No.
All right. Oh. Okay, so you said this century, though.
Uh-huh.
Yancey Thigpen?
No.
Oh, dang, I thought I had it with Yancey. Cordell?
No.
Oh, shit. I'm trying to think of those teams. Neil O'Donnell. You had Yancey Thigpen. You had. It ain't Randall L. Randall L. didn't score touchdowns like that.
No.
Okay.
You haven't brought up a name that I brought up, which is still incorrect, but it's interesting you have not brought him up yet.
Touchdowns. So receiving. Yeah, Plaxico didn't play here long enough.
That was the name.
Plaxico had that many touchdowns?
No, that was the name that I brought up that was incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Troy Edwards never caught that many touchdowns. Wallace, Hines,
Heath, Bettis, and Bell.
Yeah. What was the big fat tight end? His name was something Green. Something Green. Nah, he didn't score that many touchdowns. Is there a receiver? Another receiver I am leaving out. No, yes, you know it. Randall L. Cedric Wilson. I know there ain't no Jeremy Tooman or no goofy ass another tight end. Can't be another tight end besides Heath. Mark Bruner?
No, but I did actually bring him up as well.
Okay. It's probably another running back. Has to be. Wasn't Richard Huntley. Wasn't who was running in those days before Bettis? is definitely Le'Veon. There has to be another receiver. Wasn't Plaxico. Wasn't Troy Edwards.
I'm gonna give you another minute.
Yeah. I'm on full tilt here. This is wow. Richard Huntley. No.
You're gonna be so mad, and I'm fucking here for it. I'm so
You
here
said,
for it.
I am so here for it. Hold on.
30 seconds, sir.
Bettis, Sarah Way. Not Mendenhall.
It's like the draft. I love it.
Oh. You said no Santonio Holmes.
That was surprising. I thought he would be on the list. I really did.
Yeah, definitely.
5 seconds.
Transport. Play with it.
You said his name.
I said his name?
Yeah. You were like, it's definitely not sorry ass Mendenhall. It is absolutely Mendenhall.
Rashard Mendenhall?
Yeah.
I said his name. I should have got credit.
You said it's not him.
I brought it up. I'm like, man, I didn't know whether.
I
So I
consulted the judges
actually
already.
said it. So
You
I
did,
actually said it. It's just I didn't pinpoint it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're like, it's definitely not him. I'm like,
I thought you was about to bring out.
Yes.
I should have just said Mendenhall. I said it definitely ain't no Mendenhall. I didn't. Mr. Crack Shoulder.
Yeah, just interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. I'm surprised you came out with Mike Wallace as quick as you did. So I'm like, oh yeah, fucking.
Yeah, because I remember Mike Wallace. He wasn't like a possession receiver. He was a big play threat. He was boomer bust. It was like, okay, either you're going to him for 90. I mean, either you're going to him for a 70-yard bomb, or you ain't going to him at all. Like he's not catching in the first down. He was a deep threat, and he caught a lot of touchdowns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you forgot Mike Wallace existed.
I did. Really did.
Oh man,
that was a bit of a trivia thing. I was like, oh, that's
good. I liked that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Well, I at least said it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy I at least said it. I didn't get them all, but I'm glad I at least said it.
yeah, because I was sitting there. I'm like, I even was like, what are the initials? She's like RM. I'm like, who the fuck is that? She said it. I'm like, oh fuck you, get out of here. Ugh, gross.
Oh man, but he did score. I mean, they did give it to him. It's not like he broke a long touchdown. Most of his touchdowns was a 2-3 yards hand it to him, and
that's why I was going through the Hoedex of running backs. I'm like, and the same thing with you. I just like skipped right over him. I'm like, fucking oh. It was like a, I don't know. It was
I
like
thought you was gonna say some random name that I was gonna be like, yo. So it was 2 running backs,
Jeremy
2 receivers.
Tooman.
I know. I even said Jeremy Tooman. You know that's bad. And I even said that the fat green dude. It was a tight end. I remember it was like the fattest tight end I've ever seen play for the Steelers.
Oh, God.
You don't remember that?
No.
You probably was too young. Yeah, that was like when the Steelers first start getting good. Like before, I used to remember I told you in the Hall of Fame that I was a kid and I liked the '85 Bears. And then as I got older, then the Steelers start getting good, like '92, '93. And that's when I started watching with Neil O'Donnell and the whole Slash and Cordell. And they went to the Super Bowl and Neil O'Donnell threw the 2 picks to the Dallas Cowboys. And
that was probably my first Steelers memory, actually, was that. I'm like, cool. This is a good start. Good start.
That was when I was at full rooting, full on board. Like from that point on, I was like hooked as like a true Steeler fan from those years, like those years that led up to that. Like I don't think it was like the year before we lost to like San Diego, and it was like Natron Means and Stan Humphries and all of them. And then we lost the AFC Championship. And then the next year we went to the Super Bowl and played Dallas. Neil O'Donnell threw the Phantom 2 picks to the Raiders cornerback that got paid and never made a play after that. Larry Brown. I remember his name.
Seeing Sam Darnold ghosts. Got it.
Yep.
So let's kind of cover what happened here on our little game here. If anyone is not privy, basically we are doing kind of picks, and it's a kind of an interesting point system where you have the option to get double the points if you pick the spread, and then you get singular points if you pick the over and under. Now, last week was double a point, so instead of 2, you get 4 for the spread for the points, and then 2 for the spread. Now, if you do bet the spread, or if you do bet the team with the points and they don't hit, you lose. Whether they don't cover or they just straight up lose, you lose double the points. So last week you get you would have got 4 points if you won, and you would have lost 2 if you missed it. So there's that.
So going into the matchup, you were up 10-9, right?
10-9. 10-9. That is correct.
All right.
Now, we literally had a carbon copy of the exact kind of setup of Houston at KC. So I came out of there with 4 points. So did you. And then Washington and Detroit, we both came out of there with 2. So as of right there, it's 6-6. Here's
we came out with 2 because we came out with 2 because we predicted we both had Detroit.
Yeah,
but
and
we predicted the over. Yes. Okay.
So, oopsie doozles. So here's where things go off the rails for somebody. That somebody is me. Rams at Philly. I chose Philly in the points and the under. So Philly barely missed the points. So I lost 2. Or no, I lost 4, but I took the under and I hit that. So I only lost 2 on that game.
Okay.
You did
2.
You did Philly in the points and you took the over.
Okay.
So actually, yeah, what am I doing? So you actually okay.
What was the points in the Philly game?
6.5.
And what was the score?
Oh, that was the spread. So the over-under was 43.5.
And they didn't cover 43.5?
Let me see here. It was okay. Okay, no, that makes sense. Okay, no, they had 50. Okay, all right. And you had the.
So if I took Philly with the points, then that means I got what, 4 or 6 points on that
one? No, because you took Philly in the points and they didn't cover it.
Oh, what was the score? So they didn't cover the 6 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just got Phillies as
they were
win.
minus 6.5 and they won by 6. Okay. So you lost. So okay. All right. And I had the under. Okay. All right. Never mind. Okay. I see what I did here. Math and stuff. So I had -4 off that. And you had -2. So, up to this point here, we came into that game both having 6 points. I left out of there having 2 points, and you left out of there having 4 points. So right there, that's the total for that week so far. So
okay,
all right. Next game, Baltimore at Buffalo. I took the points and the over.
And you took Baltimore. with the points.
Yeah, I took Baltimore the
because
points.
it was like 1.5 or one.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I basically came out of there with -2. You took Buffalo and the under. So you left out of there with 4 points. So total on the week. So I had 6, then -4. So then I had 2. Oh, 6, 2, -2. All right. So I have a gentleman 0. That's cool. So I gained
After the
nothing.
whole week.
Yeah.
After the whole week, you gained nothing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Super neat. Love it. You, so 6 -2 puts you at 4, plus 4 puts you at 8. So, so, so now the tally is 10 to 17.
Yeah, because if I had 8 and I had 9, yeah, 17,
That's
and you got 0, and you already had 10, so it's 17 to 10. Wow, for some reason I thought I was only up by like 2.
No. The
see, I didn't realize with the spread, if you don't get it right, it's negative double. I thought it was just no. You did say that it was like 1 and 2, and then this one was 2 and 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so we're doing 3 times this time.
It's 3 times this time. Now less games, so it kind of balances out still, but still, it's a thing.
So if I get something wrong, I can lose, or if I don't get the spread, I can lose 6 points.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you could play the game and not touch that. You could. I mean, that's some bitch shit, but you could do that.
See, I'm not one of those players that, when you play Tonk, you go down with less than 20 or, man, I'm playing the game out. You ever play Tonk and you get those people that they go down real early, soon as they get their cards, they do make one move and then they go down. And you be like,
right.
I mean, you could do that, but where's the fun in that? Go ahead.
Yeah. Bitch money don't make money. Just saying.
Yeah.
Washington at Philly. Philly is. Did I erase that? Hold on. Is it just this? Hold on. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay. I thought it was a point. All right. So Philly is -6. Over under is 47.5. So
-6.
Yeah.
They're giving Philly 6 points.
Now, since you are winning, you go first.
Okay.
At least on the first game, then I'll do the second game.
I mean, I want Washington to win bad, but can't just straight up pick them. But I am taking Philly straight up. I'm definitely not taking those points. If Washington do lose, they're going to barely lose. They're not giving up 6 points. I don't see that one. So I'm gonna just take Philly straight up.
Okay. What about the 47.5? What are you doing with that?
Oh, that's the okay. This game did like 24-21 type of game. So what is that? It's only 44. No, 45. 47. $27. Hey, what was that? 47. It ain't predicting. Well, I'm not trying to ask you the weather. I just hope it ain't snow. If it's snowing, it's
well,
cold.
No, yeah. Let's. I should have mentioned that. So it looks to be 38 and clear.
Okay. Philly straight up. I'll take the over.
Okay. So I am actually taking Philly with the points and taking the under.
Philly with the points and taking the
Mhm.
under.
Yeah.
So
So
you're
I
taking
put these in
Philly
before I even kind of heard what you said. So I already had my stuff kind of plugged in there. Yeah,
right.
I just think Philly is a better team. I think Washington will come down to earth, and they're not gonna.
The
They may
glass
try to
slipper's gonna come
do.
off.
They may try to go in there and do what they did against Detroit. I don't. At least for a few drives. I think Daniels will be exposed for being a rookie and going against a much stouter defense, and they'll take advantage of that. It's still going to be a fun, entertaining game, but I just think the Saquon show is going to just kind of take the ball out of his hands, and they're just going to run and score, and that's just what they're going to do. In the grand scheme of life, the only real threats I think Washington has are two pairs of legs. It's Daniels and Robinson. I don't believe in Scary Terry anymore. He just hasn't been that guy that he was supposed to be. I just think just the skill position names on paper are like, how the fuck is Washington playing this game right now? They don't have anybody. And then you look at Philly, you're like, oh God, Jesus,
I
that's
mean,
like,
I just equate it to like let's suppose that Detroit would have won and Philly was going out to Detroit. I think Detroit blows them out of the water. I just
yes,
think it is.
yes,
And for
yes.
Washington to be able to and go into a hostile environment and beat Detroit tells me they got a lot to say. I mean, I don't
Yes,
even think
but
I don't think Philly can
hostile
keep up with
Detroit,
that.
hostile Detroit is much different than a hostile Philly.
Outdoors, yeah,
And mind you, like, this is outdoors. Like that definitely. I don't know. I see Saquon just having a monster day and just putting the team on his shoulders. Probably gonna be some pissed off wide receivers in the room, but it's also like, hey, you're going to the Super Bowl. Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
So we're a little different there, but so I'm taking Philly in the points. We're both taking Philly. You're taking them straight. I'm taking them with the points, and I'm going the under. You're going with the over.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Buffalo at KC. KC's getting 1.5. Over under of 48.5. I am going with KC in the points and taking the over. I feel like this is a really, really easy, predictable kind of game.
Okay, you
I
said
think it's gonna be another Josh Allen choke job, and he'll do
you
just
said
enough to keep him in it.
47 and a
40,
half is
48
48
and a half. 48
48 and a half. And how much is Kansas City getting?
1.5.
Okay.
Yeah. That just seems way, way too easy to not take, to be honest. But it'll definitely hit the over. I don't know if any kind of turnover thing will happen towards the end or not, but I just feel like somehow or another towards the end, I think the lack of offensive talent that Buffalo has on their team in the passing game is going to finally catch up to them. And Cook is not Saquon. He can't shoulder that load. I know Josh likes to run more in the playoffs, which is fine, and people can say, well, yeah, they got to play against the refs too. Shut the fuck up. We've already been over that. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to the beginning of the show and you'll see.
Well, good thing we do got some differences in that first one because I don't think we got any differences in this one. I definitely see KC,
okay.
and I see KC with the points, and I like the over as well. So yeah, we don't have any disagreements there.
Yeah, I mean, and I would have been very, very, very surprised to see you say anything different. Honestly, it just the line is too close. It's too easy, and
Well, the line that's easy. The only thing the over under is just that KC ain't been really scoring that much, but it's going to be entertaining. Something's going to happen. Each team might get a defensive touchdown or something crazy.
Yeah.
So
So
keep scoring up.
And it looks like the weather is going to be about like 34 and clear. So it'll be cold, but not anything egregious.
Yep. I think this is Josh Allen's going. Yep. He's not going to get over the hump. It's
because they don't put a team around him, man. They got a late in the year Amari Cooper, which has done absolutely. I think. Hold on.
They don't even recognize he's even there. Like they continue to throw it to. They throw it to Curtis Samuel before they throw it to Amari Cooper. I'm like, wow, this dude can't
very
even catch
strange.
a pass.
It really kind of makes me think it's an Amari problem.
He's no problems anywhere else. I don't.
Well,
I mean, even Cleveland used him.
I mean,
everybody.
Sometimes. But
that's just weird. I mean, it's almost like I forgot he's even with the team. Because
I think
he's going to Shakir, he's going to Hollins, he's going to Kincaid, he's going to Samuel, he's going to pretty much anybody. He's going to Coleman, he's going to anybody but Cooper.
You think he's hurt? You think he's like hurt? Like he's been hurt all year?
Something's got to explain that.
For him to fall off that cliff that hard, that quick is like
by going to a better team.
Yeah,
that just it don't add up. It does not add up.
That's the interesting thing about the offseason, man. You end up finding out things are like, well, I was a little banged up. And it's like, a little banged up does not mean you get fucking surgery, guy. That's not a little banged up, but okay.
Well, we're going to have another repeat Super Bowl. This is the second time. See, Kansas City, they've already, in their run, they've played San Francisco twice and beat them. They've beaten the Eagles once, and they're going to play the Eagles again. So, I mean, 4 Super Bowls they're going to be in is 2 rematches. It's like, hey, can we get some new players in there, man? Some new contenders? God, great.
Well, go talk to Dan Cantwell. That's kind of should have been him. Like it's very much the like inviting your ex to your wedding, and just sitting there. It's like, it should have been me. That's where the Lions are right now. It's like, it should have been me. None of those players are going to watch any. None of those players are watching. They haven't watched any football, and they're not going till like OTAs come around. They're like, I fucking can't. I don't want to see this bitch's happiness. I'm all set.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully I can kind of get a miraculous comeback. It's triple points, so we'll see. I pretty much only have 1 game to really kind of reclaim that.
Yeah.
So I may have to play the contrarian role next week because if you're still leading, you have to lead in. Well, actually, probably. Yeah. Well, I would say we're not going to do a show next week. We'll do it the week after. Because what are we going to do? The Pro Bowl? Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I can't do a show next week anyway because of I'll be in Texas this week, Dallas.
Oh.
Remember I told you I'm going to see Keenan Allen and his brother or whatever. That's coming up. Pretty much, I'll be in Dallas Thursday to
works out perfectly,
Monday.
Then.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, there you go. That just wow. I love when that stuff just kind of happens. It's like, oh, that's happenstance, and it works out.
Yeah, right in between the Pro Bowl. Ain't got to worry about the Super Bowl, so we can
absolutely
wait to that week.
Stupidest week. Makes no sense. The best. Dum 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 dum. So yeah, we will not be doing this next week, and then we'll come back probably Wednesday or Thursday, or probably Thursday or whatever. What is today? Friday? Yeah, probably. Yeah,
today's Friday.
Thursday. We'll figure it out. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We release it whenever, so it's not like it's live anymore. So who cares? But
yeah.
So that's a nice finger you got there, kid. That was good. What did I now? Now, what did I say yesterday?
No, we were talking, and you said, with that being said,
with that being said,
there's
the
ducks
ducks
that
need to be fed.
be
Oh,
fed.
God,
Yeah.
damn.
You said, well, now,
goodbye.
with that being said, the ducks need fed.
That is the line. Look, I'm not even mad about it. That's beautiful. We're out. We're goodbye. See you next week.
Stick a duck.